and welcome back to Betting School from the Form Guide. This is Course 10 and Variance and Keeping a Record, and it is the course that decides whether the first 9 ever pay you back. Because everything we have built, from odds to value to staking, only works over the long game, and the long game has 2 enemies. Luck you cannot control, and memory you cannot trust. Here is the roadmap. First, what variance actually is. Coins, not curses. Then the arithmetic of losing runs, and why an 8-loss streak is practically a season ticket. Then what those runs do to your head, and the name for it, tilt. Then the cure, why a written record beats memory every time, what a good one shows, and how to use it to judge any tipster or system on earth, including us. An honest chapter that may sting a little. Recap and home. Kettle on. Let's talk about luck. Start with a fair coin, heads half the time, but that is its true chance, fixed and certain. Now flip it 10 times and count. 7 heads? Happens all the time. 3? Just as often. The coin is not hot and it is not cursed. The true chance and the short run result are simply 2 different numbers, and the gap between them is variance. Every bet you strike works the same way. A method that wins 1 race in 3 has not broken when it loses 5 on the spin, any more than the coin broke by landing 3 heads. Short runs are noise around a true average, and the true average only speaks over hundreds of trials. Coins, not curses. Hold that phrase. The whole course hangs off it. Now let's do the sums that most punters never do, and then spend a career being ambushed by. Losing runs are not omens, not cold spells, not the game turning against you. They are arithmetic, as predictable as the margin itself. Let's work out exactly how likely a long one is and for whom. Take a punter who wins 1 bet in 3, a solid strike rate for someone backing around 2 to 1. Each individual bet loses 2 times in 3. So 8 losses in a row means 2/3 multiplied by itself 8 times, about 4%, roughly 1 chance in 25. Rare, you would think. But a bet-a-day punter gives that streak 200 chances to start every season, and asks something 1 in 25 to happen 200 times, and it stops being an if. Run the full calculation and the 8-loss streak turns up in about 95 seasons out of 100, near certain. Not a curse, not a slump in form, a scheduled stop on the route. The next screen shows the whole ladder. Here is the ladder. The chance of hitting at least 1 8-loss run somewhere in a 200-bet season by strike rate. An even money backer winning half the time. A 32%, roughly 1 season in 3, still contains the streak. A 6-4 backer at 40%, 75%. Our 2-1 backer at 33%, 95%, near certain, exactly as the arithmetic promised. And a 3-1 backer at 25%, 99.8%. The streak is all but a fixture in the calendar. Read the ladder once and the lesson lands. The bigger the prices you take, the longer the runs you must budget for. Anyone playing at 2-1 or bigger who has not planned for 8 straight losers has not planned. Here is variance from another angle, and it is the one that quietly ruins judgment. Imagine 5 bettors running the identical method. Same selections, same prices, same genuine 5% edge. For 3 months, 90 bets each. Identical skill to the decimal point. Luck, though, deals each of them a different 90 results. And over a sample that small, luck's voice is far louder than the edge's whisper. Some of the 5 will finish those 3 months convinced they are geniuses. At least one will finish convinced the method is broken. And every one of them is wrong, because 3 months was never enough road for the truth to show. Let's watch it happen. Pounds back per 100 staked after 90 bets. 5 bettors, 1 method, 1 edge. Better 1, 79. £21 down per 100, certain the game is rigged against him. Better 2, 94, grinding, grumbling, just underwater. Better 3, 103, quietly pleased. Better 4, 116, and better 5, 131. Already drafting the tipping page. The gold bar is the number none of them can see. The true average, 105. The 5% edge they all share. £52 separate the luckiest from the unluckiest, and not one penny of it is skill. If three identical bettors can look this different, imagine how little one punter's hot month proves. So the math says losing runs are coming on schedule to everyone. Now, the harder question, what do they do to the person holding the betting slip? Because variance doesn't just test your bankroll, it tests your temper, and it has a name for winning that contest. Poker players call it tilt. Tilt is what happens when a losing run stops being arithmetic and starts being personal. It follows a script so common you can recite it. First comes chasing, an unplanned extra bet to win back tonight's losses tonight, then doubling if 2-1 lost at £10. Surely 20 on the next one puts it right. And then the quiet one, the most expensive of all, abandoning the method, usually 8 losers deep, which the ladder just told us is exactly when a sound method is merely doing what sound methods do. Variance sends every punter the same invoice, tilt pays it twice, and here is the honest line this course exists for. If a losing run is changing your stakes or your mood, that is the moment to step away, not to press. So how do you tell a scheduled losing run from a genuinely broken method or from no method at all? Not by feel. Feel is memory, and memory is an editor, not an archive. It keeps the highlights, the photo finish winner at 9-2, the double that landed at Cheltenham. It quietly deletes the wet Tuesday losers, the drifters, the near misses that weren't actually near. A record keeps the truth instead, and the truth only needs 4 columns written down at the moment you strike the bet. The bet itself, the price you took, the closing price, the last price before the off, and the result. Every bet. Not the memorable ones, every single one. Let's see what the editor does to a season. One punter, one full season, told twice. Once by memory, once by the ledger. Memory can actually replay about 20 bets of the 240 struck, and they are not a fair sample, they are the good ones. So memory claims a 45% strike rate, the ledger shows 31. Memory files the year as about level, we call it 102 back per 100 staked. The ledger says 91, £9 lost per 100, week in, week out. And the deleted scenes, memory kept perhaps 20% of the losing days, while the ledger kept every last one. Same season, same bets, same pounds. One version is a story, the other is the truth, and only one of them can teach you anything. Keep those 4 columns for a few months and the record starts answering questions memory cannot even hear. First, strike rate. Not against hope, but against the strike rate your average price demands, the course one, arithmetic. Second, profit and loss in pounds per 100 staked, the only scoreboard that pays. Third, course 4 graduates, this is your moment. CLV, how the price you took compares with the closing price. Beat the close consistently and you have real evidence of an edge long before profit shows through the noise. And fourth, the quiet gold, where your bets are good and where they are bad. Handicaps versus novice races, big fields versus small, flat versus jumps. A record doesn't just say how you are doing, it says where you are good and where to stop. Ask a room full of punters what they actually write down and you get a picture like this. Result. Did it win or lose? About 90% keep that much because the bank statement keeps it for them. Stake around 60%. The price taken maybe 35%. And now we are losing the plot because without the price, a winner tells you nothing. The closing price, perhaps 8%. And the category where the bet was struck and why, about 12. Look at the shape of it. The columns everyone keeps only describe the past. The columns almost nobody keeps. Price taken, closing price, category, are precisely the ones that diagnose an edge. The diagnostic columns are the empty ones. Everything the record does for you, it also does to everyone selling you something. Tipsters, systems, apps, the bloke at work with a spreadsheet. After this course, you own a lie detector and it runs on 3 questions. Let's set the standard and then apply it to the loudest claim in the game. 3 questions and they filter out nearly everything. 1, how many bets? 100 is the bare minimum before results begin to mean anything. The identical better screen showed you why 90 proves nothing. Several hundred is better. 2, is it audited? Advertised results and marketing. A record only counts if the calls were published before the off or proved to an independent third party at quoted prices anyone could take. 3, the sharpest blade. Do they show the losers, every loser at full weight in the same font as the winners? If they don't publish losers, they're publishing fiction. That standard is exactly why our receipt exists. Every call our shows make, the price at the time, the closing price and the result posted nightly, winners and losers in the same ink, hold us to it. Here is why the sample size question comes first. Take a tipster with no edge whatsoever, paying the standard margin like everyone else, and follow the record as it grows. After 20 bets, a perfectly ordinary run of luck has him at 135 back per 100 staked. A screenshot, a testimonial, a subscription page. After 100 bets, the luck is thinning. 104, still just above water. After 500 bets, gravity has finished the sentence. 95, the margin, wearing his name. Nothing changed between the first screen and the last, except the sample size. 20 bets is an anecdote, 500 is a verdict, and the verdict is the only part they never advertise. Every betting school course carries an honest chapter, and this one cuts closest to home, because it is not about bookmakers or tipsters. It is about the story you tell yourself. Here's what the ledger usually says when a punter finally keeps one, and why both versions of the news are worth having. 2 confessions, and between them they cover most of the room. Most punters who believe they are unlucky are nothing of the sort. The ledger, once kept, shows ordinary luck on ordinary prices, breaking even minus the margin, exactly what course 2 predicted. The curse was the over-round all along, and most punters who believe they are skilled are running hot on a sample the identical better screen would laugh at. Better 5 mid-heater, drafting the tipping page. The record settles it either way, and either answer is a gift. -5 per 100. You have found the margin, and you can stop paying for the illusion of an edge. Bet smaller. Enjoy it more and lose nothing but the story. Genuinely plus over hundreds of bets beating the close. Then you hold something rare and now you can prove it. Either way, you finally know. And knowing is the whole point of the long game. Let's carve the course into stone. Variance is the gap between true chance and short-run results. Coins, not curses. A method losing 5 straight has not necessarily broken. Losing runs are arithmetic. At a 33% strike rate, an 8-loss run arrives in about 95 seasons out of 100. Plan for it or tilt will plan for you. Chasing, doubling, abandoning the method at exactly the wrong time. Memory keeps highlights. Records keep truth. Every bet, price taken. Closing price. Result, a good record shows your strike rate against the rate your prices demand. Your profit and loss, your CLV, and where you are good versus where to stop. Judge any tipster the same way. 100 bets minimum, audited, losers shown. No losers, no truth. And the honest chapter, most bad luck is the margin, most brilliance is a hot sample, and the ledger settles it either way. And that completes course 10. You can now tell a scheduled losing run from a broken method, put a number on how likely the streak was, spot tilting yourself before it spends your money, and keep the 4-column record, quote, that turns feelings into facts. You can also audit any tipster on earth in 3 questions. And yes, that includes us. The receipt is posted nightly precisely so you can. Next time we finish the whole school with the course that matters more than all the others put together, responsible gambling at the capstone. Subscribe so it lands in your feed, and the daily shows and 7, midday, 4 and 10 will keep your eye in between courses. Now the serious bit, said with love, and today it writes itself. Everything in betting school is education and opinion only. Never financial advice and never an instruction to bet. This course showed you that even sound methods lose for months at a time, so nothing here is a promise of profit, and no ledger makes the risk go away. Betting is for adults aged 18 and over, only ever with money and time you can comfortably spare. And if the losing runs stop feeling like arithmetic and start feeling like a weight, or if it simply stops being fun, talk to someone. That is begambleaware.org. Thank you for studying with me. See you at the capstone.